afternoon and welcome to On the Spot Motorsports Media. We have Greg and Leah Steles joining us. Greg, he drives in the Southeast Gasser Association, so we're going to talk about that association and what they do and the different classes that they have. And I tell you, man, his car is a piece of magic. I was able to talk to Greg up at the PRI show and find a lot of things about that particular that class and the Southeast Gasser Association. But before we get in all that, let's dive into a couple of commercials and we'll be right back after this.
Reliability to drive thousands of miles. Confidence for those who fly high. Redline oil products give you the power to crush the competition. And a track record of being the best. Redline oil products. You push it to the limit, we'll protect it.
Ready to take your engine to the next level? Scorpion Racing Products delivers precision-engineered, high-performance rocker arms that dominate the track. 100% CNC machined in the USA with aerospace-grade aluminum for unmatched strength and durability. Our rocker arms handle extreme conditions with multiple ratios available to fit your needs. Backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. When performance matters, choose Scorpion Racing Products. Proven, reliable, unstoppable.
Greg and Leah, I want to thank y'all for joining us this afternoon here at On the Spot Motorsports Media to talk a little bit about the Southeast Gasser Association and what it means for y'all. I know, Leah, you're very involved as well as Greg driving the car. So kind of tell us a little bit how y'all got involved with that association.
Go ahead.
It's not a trick question. It's okay.
Well, I wanted to make sure what she was going to say. So basically, for me, it was we actually raced with the Brew City Gassers in Wisconsin, and we raced with them guys for probably 7 years. Mm-hmm. And we had fun. I promised my wife that I wouldn't get serious at all. So, well, that was a deal by buying the car.
Because we backing the story up, we raced dirt for many, many, many years. And he was so serious. It was so competitive. And he moved up every class. And he couldn't be serious about it anymore. We had to take a break and, do some family time and stuff like that. And then he found the Joker in the middle of that.
So basically what happened to us, though, is to get to the Southeast Gassers quick was we, for 2 years, we usually didn't lose a race at all. So, I mean, pretty much didn't lose. So we wanted to go race the best. So,
I think that's what he was gearing up to for a while.
Yeah.
He was going to the Southeast Gasser events, and he had like a checklist in his brain of what we needed to do to get there, because we weren't, we were doing 13 seconds when we started out. We were a 13-second car, and we kept braking, and being in the dirt, we're very competitive. So when
we're used to winning.
So he was braking all the time, and we weren't getting any faster. So I finally told him, I'm like, gosh darn it, you need to do what you need to do to get this thing going. So
that's all I needed.
That's all you needed to hear, right?
I said, I'm sick of looking like a fool. We need to do something here. So
now we're with the Southeast Gassers. We're back to looking like fools again.
Oh, come on now.
We're getting beat up so
we're
bad.
Getting beat up. When we went for years, I'd go to the events, and the only ones I went to though was Ohio and Indiana because it was closest to me.
And I would never go.
No,
I
never went. But anyways, I'd go down there and scope everybody out, and my buddy Leslie, he was very, very helpful for me. I was incognito there. I wasn't telling him what I was doing, but I want to know what clutch he was running, what he was doing, and trying to get as much information as
he knew. He knew
Yeah.
the kind of questions you were asking. He knew.
Well, I didn't. I was just slowly asking. It wasn't.
Right.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
were just doing this, just a little person,
Yeah, and because you just wanted to be close to what they had. We knew we were going to get beat up right away when we got there, but we didn't realize it really. Our engine program really sucked compared to. I bought a used engine that was built from a guy, and it was a Southeast Gasser car that won with the engine before, and it was a nightmare from day one.
Yeah, and then we went from going the full tree to pro tree, so that took a little bit of getting used to.
So at our first event, nobody even parked next to us.
That was the first race that I was ever at for Southeast
And
Gasser.
we were at PRI show before we raced with them guys, and I'm just telling you guys straight up, I'm confident. I don't care what people think. I know I will win. I know I'll be the world record holder. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But and this is the way I'm telling you now is the way I talked to them then, and they said you wouldn't qualify in the top 10. I mean, that's what they said. I think we qualified 6th, and I got schooled on the tree from a guy from the Dirt Man, Rick Varner. He schooled me on the tree because he only run a 50, and I qualified with a 38, and but it was gone. I couldn't catch him because he schooled me. But
all in all, though, what keeps us going is not only the goal that we have for getting this record, but it's the people and the family that we've created there is just unbelievable. I mean, what was it? Our third race ever. Nobody knew us. Or was it second? Nobody knew us from Adam, and he gives us a car to race. Like Moses gave us his car to race.
I blew the engine up at Shady's side in testing, and a guy he knew I was going for the points, and he gave me his, because it's not per car, it's per driver. The points go with the driver, so he gave me his card so I could get my points.
Who does that? And then
it was crazy.
And then Leslie, who's been the champion, I mean, he's been helping us like crazy too, and he's been such a good friend and a good buddy, and you can have the joking around rivalry, but still they're like family to us. Like they are seriously.
I still want to beat them every time I line up with them.
Well,
you wouldn't expect nothing else. That's real competitiveness and real friends. Is you wouldn't expect nothing else. They're not going to take slack on anything. Mitchell and I race each other all the time. We don't take slack on each other. Don't expect to.
Right.
And you'd be more mad if somebody laid down.
100%.
You'd be more mad if somebody
100%.
laid down than run your heads up.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Leslie jumping in, Leslie Horn. If anybody don't know who we're talking about, Leslie Horn. I think the reason why he's jumped in there and he likes to help people because he wants that association to grow. He wants more cars to be coming out there and try to qualify for the field. The more, the better. And also try to educate new drivers coming in. And that's the only way to do it. Like you said, Greg, you went out there and you just jumped in it. And sometimes I think that's the best way to is to learn, is just jump in for both feet and grasp all the information that you can on the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you jumped in the deep end. You went straight to A-gas, didn't you?
Yeah. I ran quarter mile, and and I at that time I had a 632, over 1,000 horsepower. So it's about the same thing. It's just a smaller cubic inch motor now.
Right.
But from my car did not like from the quarter mile to 8th mile. Boy, it didn't like it. I mean, it just it was tough for us to get a handle on it. We still ain't got a handle on it. I mean, we're closer every day. We get our races got canceled this weekend, so that's why we're home. Otherwise, we would have
Right.
been out on the road.
It's been eating at us so bad because
Yeah.
we want to just race that car. So
Just we went and did some testing, and now the motor, I don't even know what to call this motor because it's Pars Racing Engines, Gene Fulton, and GSS Racing Engines. So there's three of us inside of the engine. Yeah,
you
so
got three of
we're
them?
well, no, we got there's one engine. There's three
there's
different
three
builders.
different builders
Oh,
in this.
everybody's
In this
contributing.
engine.
Gotcha.
So I got this guy that works for me. He actually was Paul Newman and Haas Racing Indy cars. He worked. He was a crew chief there, and he worked. He's a serious dude when it comes to racing. So we got a lot of little tricks that we have.
He's our secret weapon.
Our secret weapon, right? But we tested the
Not
car.
anymore. You know?
We tested the car the other day, and I've never felt that much power before. So I'm super happy with it right now. We just got to get to the next event. We're gonna go race tomorrow to go test at our home track. Because the track, they got a big show this weekend on Saturday, which we're part of. But we're not there the race. We're there. We're just going to test, shut off at the 8th mile. That's all we're there for. But the track is going to be prepped like a SEGA event, and that's what we need.
You got to
with the boards off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun to hang out with that crew.
Well, even
it's so long too.
They'll have the board on for the quarter mile. Yeah, but they won't know my 8th mile time. I'll still run 850s in the quarter, but I actually believe I think it's going to run like even when I shut it off at the 8th. I think it's going to run probably an 8. I think an 820.
Ooh,
in the quarter, yeah.
Okay. I definitely got to hear the result of that one because I would like to see that, and I'm all for it. Now,
I think
everybody that's listening to this, Greg and Leah own and drive one of the most, I don't know if the right word to say is iconic, but one of the most recognized gassers in the Southeast gassers. It's an A gasser, 57 Pontiac called the Joker. Okay. First of all, not too many 57 Pontiacs around. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Okay. And not too many, if any, are gassers. And not too many, if any, have a history quite like your car. So
no,
tell me, because I'm a little familiar with the story of it, but how you came about this car is amazing.
Yeah, we owned a trucking company, and everybody used Craigslist at this time, and I would just run a copy off of cars that I wanted to buy. So I had a stack of cars, about like that, of papers that I would go through and whatever. One day, I finally got the nerve to call the guy to get the car. He wasn't real nice, and he pretty much told me to go pound sand, and he wasn't selling the car. So I was like, whatever. And then about probably
why have it listed then, right?
Yeah. He was sick of people calling
with
and everybody go calling them and all
tire
stuff.
kickers. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get that.
So it sat on my desk for a couple more weeks with a bunch of other cars I was looking at. I bought and sold a lot of cars. So that's all kind of what I was doing. I was going to paint the car black and tint the windows out red.
So that's what they did when the trucks weren't home. They used the bays, and our workers became restoration people, and they flipped cars.
Yeah, so we did a lot of it. So
makes sense.
I mean, we had a lot of cars there. But anyways, so I finally, after a couple weeks, it might have been even a couple months, I can't quite remember, but I was cleaning my desk off, and I was throwing all this stuff away. And I took it off my folder and I threw it in the garbage, and I went through a couple more, and something in my head's like, pick that Pontiac back up, just go get in the garbage can, pick it up and call the guy. And I had it in the garbage. I grabbed it. I called him, and he still wasn't nice to me. But he says, if I have it for sale tomorrow morning, call me. I'm like, I'll give you whatever you want right now, blah, blah, blah. And he went. So the next day I called him. Sure, he put it on Craigslist again. I called him right away. I said, hey, I'm the guy who called you last night. He's like, all right, this is the price I want for it. I'll be honest with you, I paid $8,500 for the car. I said, I'll take it. He goes, how long before you get here? I said, 13 hours. He's like, nope, forget it. I'm like, I said, come on, just let me. I want the car. I just got to run to the bank. I got to grab the cash, and I'll be down there. And then he says, you call me when you hit the Illinois line. I got that Illinois line, called him, and he was not so grumpy, but still grumpy. And then he said, you call me another hour from now. So got an hour down the road, called him again. As I got closer, I kept calling him, and he got nicer as I went.
He knew that, you wasn't wasting his time like a bunch of other people who have.
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened. We finally show up there, and I walked in there, and I just looked at the car, and I said, do you have the title? He says, yes. I said, grab the title from him. I went over to the door. I looked at it. It was the right title for that car. I gave him all the money, and I had a friend with me, and he's like, and he's telling a story. Oh, somebody made this car and all this. And I'm like, just shut up. Just let's get it on the trailer, So
you don't know what I just went through.
Yeah. I just wanted to get it on the trailer, and we got it on the trailer. And then, the guy was basically what was going on. He was going through a divorce, and it is what it is. And he didn't want to sell it, but he had to. So we ended up getting the car. I got about 2 miles from there, pulled over, and just like, man, I can't believe I just got this thing, We're super happy. And then, we get home. Everybody says they seen it race in the 60s, and they had the Joker on it and all this stuff. And, so we just went with it for a while because we didn't know. It did have a guy's name, Dan Smith, on the roof. So probably about a year or 2 years later, I was in the lineup in Byron, Illinois, and a guy named Dan Smith come up to me and said, hey, this is my car, So I started talking to him, and I was like, man, how fast did you go with it? He says, I never drove it. I was like, what? He's like, no, I never drove it. He goes, I found it next to a barn, and I driving to work, and he's seen it, and he bought from this old timer that said he raced it back in the day. And then Dan, he took it home and did all the work to it, put the Joker on it, and all this stuff. It still had the original glass was green tinted in the headlights, but it was spray tint that they had back in the day. And they had the old stickers on it. But Dan actually put the Joker on it, and his name had Dan Smith, and it still says Smith Racing Brothers on the back. I left it on there.
That's
I took Dan's name off.
Pretty neat. That's pretty neat that you left that out on there.
I took
because the car's a part of history.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I took Dan Smith off the roof, and the only reason I did is because everybody was calling me Dan. I was like, Dan, don't drive this car. This is a whole different, and I had a lot of people say, oh, that's Dan built that car. And I was like, man, the only thing that's left of Dan, it was the roof and the quarter. There's nothing. There's nothing else that was on that car from since I've owned it. But we went through the stages of just getting it ready to race. Like Leah said, we were running 12 seconds with it, or 13 seconds, whatever it was back then. And every year we just go a little faster. But we were just doing the family thing, having fun. It's killing me that she wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do to it. But once I got her on board, then it was easy. Now it's really easy.
Yeah.
She's hook, line, and sinker. Trust me.
It was just getting over that little hump right there.
Yeah.
That's all.
She loves it just as much as me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Miss Lee, I can honestly say when I was talking to him, I didn't have to coax him or anything. He was talking very, very highly of you, very respectful of you, as far as how encouraging you are. You know what I mean? So, and he said he couldn't do none of this without you. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. All of us, we couldn't do it without our wives, to encourage us and motivate us or kick us in the butt or make us go buy another engine.
Right.
My wife hadn't quite got there yet.
This car really, I mean, it did kind of really bring us together a little bit more too, because it got me more involved in things that he liked to do. Before, like during the dirt race, I would never go down in the pits because when he was out there racing, I had to see the whole track or I'd go nuts.
Right.
And then I always had all the kids with me. So we'd all sit in the stands and, you know, we were the loudest crowd there. So it got old after a while for me though, from, you know, me being up there by myself with all the kids, and it just got old for me. So I quit going, and then, you know, he was still involved in it and it got really competitive and really expensive. And then we just had to take a break. But with this, it took him a long time to get me to be his backup girl, because there was no way I was going to do that. But I could be involved. I was in the pits. I could be next to him in the staging lanes. And I mean, it was like I felt like a real piece of the team, like he really needed me. And that's important, right. I think. So then when he threw me under the bus to be a backup girl, that really opened me up to, you know what, we're going to do this and we're going to take it all the way.
Well, it made you be part of the show, the experience. That everybody comes there to watch, you know. You know, the thing I like about it is that it's a part of history that is still going on. It's not forgotten about, because y'all are actually doing what they did in the early 60s. Yeah. You know, during the era of drag racing, having the backup girls, having the names on the cars. Every car's got a name. And a lot of that stuff you don't see anymore. Like at our track, when we go, there's very seldom there's a car with a name. There are a couple that are still out there, but majority of people, they just have a number on their car and they race it. But I just love that atmosphere and how inviting it is for the families to come out and watch. And it's not very expensive either for the family to come out and enjoy it.
No, the Southeast Gassers it's unbelievable what they do for the fans and family. I mean, we know we have family members and friends for life with these guys. You know, there's other racing that we're gonna do, but we'll always race with the Southeast Gassers. There's no doubt about it. We're thinking about moving to Tennessee just because of that.
Yes.
Don't tease me now. Don't tease me.
Yes.
Well, we're thinking about having maybe a Greg Speed Shop South. You know, maybe we'll just see what happens. Right now, we're just focused on trying to get this world record and you know, put it all together. And you know, we got a great team that goes with us. My son, Justin, Rusty Puddles from the shop, and I know Justin's watching.
He's a character. Just watching the videos.
100%.
Man, I tell you, he lives it.
Yeah.
But it's like
anybody pulls a switchblade comb out of their back, and I'm like going, dude,
right?
Like I like that. I was like, all right, man, all right.
Like with Leah, you know, like we're saying, you know, we're a team, and you know, she's my backup girl, and we can talk to each other without even, you know, without talking to each other, just by looking. Right. I know what she means. She knows what I mean. And, you know, sometimes I got to have Rusty back me up. He sucks. He sucks bad.
So it's a little like this.
Yeah, this is what he does. He goes like this, right? And he'll tell me to turn, and he means the other way, not the way he's telling me.
Then he'll do this and go and start panicking. Next thing you know, you're backing up a trailer. You know,
he's a great part of our team, though. I mean, we give him a lot of crap, and then we got Big John that comes with us also. John has a real job, so he can't take off as much as us. We hate when he's not there, but John does all the photos for us. Yeah. He's gotten so good at his photography. Yeah, he's just good for our team.
I've looked at a lot of his stuff, and it is great, good quality. I don't know what type of camera he's using, but it is definitely high quality photos.
Yeah, he does it. He definitely does a good job for sure. You know, and then we got all the guys at the shop that are part of the team that don't go to the races with us per se.
But their hands are in so much when we're there.
Pretty much everybody in that shop has worked on that car at one point in time. You know,
our operations manager gets a little mad at you sometimes for pulling guys off their jobs for the Joker.
She's my sister. She don't like it too bad.
I like the fact when you go through your website, you look at everybody listed. Everybody has a nickname.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I don't know. Yeah, I really
but
believe.
There's a couple that don't. There's a couple that's like, nope.
Yeah. My grandpa used to do that. And I just remembered it. He'd always have a nickname for all of his grandkids and other people, you know. And I don't know why when we started to shop, I just started not calling them by their name. I just pick a name and that's what we call them, you know. So
that's how Rusty became Rusty Puddles.
Yeah, Rusty Puddles. That was we had another kid that worked for us, Clayton, and he had part of that too. He did. But we had to make that one stick, and it was very cool. We just gotta get Rusty a van yet. That's the only thing we gotta get him.
Yes.
Down by the river.
Yeah.
Down by the river. Okay.
You know, some shade carpet there and stuff. You know.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. So y'all actually went to South Georgia Motorsports Park to open up the season. And that is somewhere where y'all have never raced before. How did y'all enjoy it?
I really like the track. Just my engine went down in testing, so it kind of ruined the weekend.
And the rear end too.
Yeah. So both races, we had 2 races in. I had lost 2 motors and 2 rear ends, and we still survived by putting backup engines in and borrowing an engine from Leslie to be tied in 3rd in points right now. So, which, you know, we can't get behind right now. So we didn't need none of that to happen. But I mean,
we're still okay.
We're still all right.
We still just got to move forward, and we'll be all right.
But we really wanted. I mean, if that engine would have ran right in Georgia, you know, we might have had something.
Oh yeah, when I met you, and you told me briefly, you know, what had happened, but you were like you were just pointing at Leslie's like, I just want to run him. That's it. I did. We want to settle this, and I want to run him, and I'm like,
yeah, it's just the grudge between me and Leslie. That's all that is, you know. And he is the man. He is the you know, he's got the world record, and he's been beating everybody up. You know, he won the last 6 races in a row. He's won over 30 rounds. You know, but we beat him at Shadyside. So it was a great thing to do. We needed that for ourselves and our team. We really needed that, and we feel very confident now. I mean, I'm telling you, when we get it together, and we're thinking, we really feel confident this year for sure. It's our 3rd season. We raced 30. Let me think here. 22 races in the Southeast Gasser so far. 22 of them. Thousands of miles. My closest track is 8.5 hours from here to race with them guys, and that's in Ohio. When we go to Shadyside, it's 1,000 miles.
Right.
Jeez.
And South Georgia Motor Park, that's our farthest race, and that was 40 miles farther than Gulfport, Mississippi.
Really?
Yeah. And I really like that track. I really hope they want us to come back there. I hope
so too.
I definitely know Raul Torres, the track owner, his family. They were ecstatic about it. They really loved y'all coming there. Said y'all put on a great show for the spectators coming out, and really enjoyed it. So yes, I'm hoping to see that back on the schedule for next year.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely liked it, and I know that the place that's where world records are broke, and we were definitely hoping that we had something from that day. But when the engine went down, my backup engine is today. it's not capable.
It's a backup.
It's a backup, but
yeah, but it's not even a good backup yet.
Yeah.
So we got to get it to be a good backup, and then we'll be all right.
yeah, right.
Okay,
We got
I got you. I got you.
a little bit. And
We're gonna
Oh,
put
yeah.
we're gonna put a fuel injection on the car. It gives us a 150-pound weight brake.
Yeah, I was going to
So-
ask you about that. So it is a brake to run fuel injection.
Yeah, because got to be mechanical fuel injection. No, the old
Right,
school
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
They're more finicky. Lose a little bit of the power, but man, not 150 pounds worth.
I was getting ready to say.
So
I mean, because the guys that run the AFX, I think all of them, but maybe one runs mechanical fuel injection. So
Mhm.
when I was there, I was very, very impressed by those cars. Just by the fact having mechanical fuel injection,
Mhm.
firing up, idling smooth, you know what I mean, and stuff like and real crisp. I'm like going, okay, people have done their homework. And but yeah, well, just like Mitchell said, when I talked to Raul, I called him before I went to the track and I met y'all, and I was just asking him a couple questions. I called him earlier in the week, and he says, I don't know. He goes, I've never seen one of these races, and I hope it's going to be great. And he goes, because for the past 2 weeks, practically every phone call was about a Southeast Gassers.
Hmm.
And he goes, people just calling from all over. And he goes, this is crazy. He goes, I love it. He goes, I hope a lot of people show up. And of course, like Mitchell said, you had a really good turnout, good crowds. I was impressed on Friday afternoon at 12. I couldn't believe how many people just coming in just to walk around, taking off work at lunchtime or whatever, just to walk around and look. And I'm like going, man, this is a good crowd. Just, and y'all didn't start racing until several hours after, in the early evening. But now I'll tell you, I know the Joker keeps your hands full. Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, that's one of the things.
Mhm.
Y'all got so many. Y'all are juggling so much. You got so many hats y'all put on. Tell us about Greg's Speed Shop and everything that y'all do.
Well, basically, we owned a trucking company before Greg's Speed Shop. I always worked on cars my whole life. My dad drove truck for 45 years over the road. I never wanted to drive a truck, so I got into cars and worked at multiple different shops. And basically what happened was I couldn't make enough money back in the day, and my dad said, I'll put you in a truck next week and make you $2,500. So I was like, see you later. So we went right into the trucking, but for 27 years I did it. And then 27 years, me and my wife, we ended up making a multi-million-dollar trucking company. And basically what happened was we upgraded our fleet of trucks. I don't do vacations. All I do is work. I work 24/7. And she says, you're going on vacation. And I knew I didn't have an opportunity to say no. So I went and she said,
Voluntold.
Yeah. She wanted to go to Mackinac Island and up in the upper UP in Michigan. So it's only probably 5 hours from here. So we drive up there. We went out there. It was cool. It was neat to go see. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then got back in the RV. I said, okay, let's go home. She goes, you ain't going nowhere. You're gone for a week. And that was killing me. At that time we had, like 36 employees, and it was killing me not be able to
turn the brain off.
Home. But I told her, I says, you know what? I always wanted to go to the Henry Ford Museum. And I'll tell you guys what, if you ever get a chance to go to the Henry Ford Museum, you need to go. It was life-changing for me. I walked in there and I knew instantly what I was going to do the rest of my life. And it had nothing to do with the truck. I just spent $2 million 3 weeks before that. But 3 weeks before that, I spent $2 million to upgrade our trucks. And I knew I was done trucking that day. And I didn't tell her because I would have ruined the day.
That was a tough conversation, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we just signed our life away, but I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I waited until we got home. And how I can tell people what I tell people all the time and when I give shop tours is when you really know who the Lord is, that's what happened to me that day. And I knew instantly that's what I was going to do. So to tell her, I was a little rough. But I told her, you didn't want to come over. You didn't want to come over to my house that day. It was pretty rough there. Right?
Yeah. He slept.
Nobody came over to the house that day. You're like,
wasn't real pleasant there. But if I, about a day later, she just said, we're gonna do it. Let's do it.
Mhm.
And basically, what it was because I worked on cars when I was a kid, and I worked, in our trucking company. You thought we were a restoration company, just because we had so many cars there. I'd been working on cars my whole life, and it was just basically the Henry Ford Museum made me say, "Hey, life is too short. Go do what you want to do."
Yep.
So all we did, we found a place in Waupaca, Wisconsin, right on a major highway, and we bought it. And basically what I was going to do is retire. I'm not going to retire.
It was supposed to be a small ma and pa shop to slow life down for us a bit.
So then
listen to this interview.
So that's what
Sorry, go ahead.
That's really what was supposed to happen. It really was, and it just started taking off from there. People kept on stopping, and
we kind of didn't have a plan. We didn't,
No.
It was supposed to be a small ma and pa shop, but then, I don't know how to explain it. Things just started happening, and the paths just started going, and we were just following things that were opening up to us.
Yeah.
That's
And
available. Yeah.
and it blink of an eye, 6 years later, we're humongous, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
It went the first 6 months. She actually worked at the trucking company, and I'd work until about noon at the trucking company. Then I'd go to the speed shop and start working. We're doing construction inside, and it just, people kept stopping. I mean, we're on 7 years, but 7 years in business there, over 250,000 people been through my doors, and we quit counting at 250,000. So I really can't tell you how many people have been through there. What's the invoice number?
I think it was 1290.
I'd say 1,290 cars been through my facility.
It might be even more than that.
In,
That's just the last.
in 7 years. So, we mainly work on older cars, but we do work on some newer stuff now. But it's pretty much like resto mod stuff. But
Right.
we do a lot of trainings, rear ends, engines, carburetor rebuilds, and just chop cars to paint them to everything's full restoration to custom. It doesn't matter what it is.
When we started, we kind of made a little in-house rule that it wasn't going to be anything. It was 85 and older. That's what we would work on, is 85 and
up
older.
to 85, and that was it.
But then you get all these young kids in there who'd want to work on their cars and make their cars better because that was their baby. And then you'd get even like motorcycles, old motorcycles, and we've gotten airplanes and just different things. And it's like, why limit us to just that? You know what I mean? And then we grew from there, doing different things.
I did. There was 85 or something that I cut it off at.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing that, people are getting frustrated that it wouldn't work on
they
their
would
stuff.
get so mad.
And then finally I was just like, okay, we'll just take that off. Because you don't know what the guy can afford at that time. It's his hot rod, if he likes a 96 Camaro, that's his deal, so we want to be able to help them, whatever they have,
And then
there might be something right in your wheelhouse anyway. That you can help them with.
Yeah. And then cars would come in, that were like in a wreck, through insurance jobs, but then no shops could get them in for like a month. So we take them in. Well, sure. Yeah. Then we started doing that. So then we got hooked up with all the insurance companies, refer them to us now because nobody else can seem to get them in. So we kind of have our eggs in a bunch of baskets.
Well, and then your reputation preceded you, and everybody's talking about the great work that y'all were doing at your shop. So apparently, they're like, well, they got a great reputation. I don't know about this person down the road, so I'm going to take my car to to Greg and get him to work on it.
And right now we just opened our machine shop up there. We always built motors there, but we didn't have a full machine shop. So I just started buying my own equipment because I was just sick of depending on everybody else. And the guy who actually works for me, Ed, we call him Uncle Ed, but he came in there and he happened to see on YouTube, he's seen the equipment in the background. And then he says, I know you got equipment in here and I know you're starting a machine shop, so will you hire me? And I said, yeah, under one condition. After I thought about it, because I really didn't want to hire another person. Right. And after I thought about it, I'm like, I didn't know what he knew at that time. Now it was like the biggest blessing in the world for him to walk in my doors. But he's a true master of what he does, and he's doing an apprenticeship with me. So every day I'm machining in the machine shop, and I think I'm on my fourth machine right now. All the stuff I know I got to forget. It's kind of hard sometimes.
I was getting ready to say
because when I'm in that room, he's the boss, and I just let him, if he see, I tell him that today he told me something, little things that I don't know. This guy's been doing it for 33 years. And I'm absolutely amazed the quality of work that he does, because I've had some really good engine builders build me stuff, and this guy's top notch, I'm telling you. So I'm super happy that he's there and he's training me. He only wants to work another 5 to 7 years, and he wants to leave me with his knowledge, and I'm very honored to be able to do that.
So is your plan to offer full machine shop, full engine work, or is that currently right now you're an apprentice?
Oh no, we're full. We're full guild.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just how to ask.
Yeah, no, we're full guild. I mean, we probably got 9 engines sitting on the ground right now that I'm machining. So pretty much right now is, I pretty much take care of the machining stuff. Ed does the assembly right now. And it's just, he comes over every time I got a question, I ask him. He's very good with me. Especially when I get on a newer machine that I don't know how to operate, to his ability anyways.
Right. And well, the technology, say for instance, we were up there at the PRI show this past year, and you walk through there at all the new equipment that is now, water jetting, and all the stuff. It is just plumb crazy at what the machines will do. You just walk in there, you punch in the numbers what you want, and you put the block in there, and it just cuts it out just the way you want it. It's just amazing at some of the stuff nowadays. But not to say anything, some of the older equipment is just as good today as it was yesteryears as well.
Yes, we are actually gonna, probably in the next couple of years, we're gonna really vamp up the machine shop stuff, and we're gonna go all CNC stuff. It's just because when Rottler came in, and you can eliminate. I hate even saying it this way, but it's the truth. You don't have to be per se a real machinist to operate that new equipment. And
it's much simpler.
They got to be able to push a button, because it's a self-programming. So we definitely are going to be doing that. But we want to, we're going to be getting into some pro mod stuff. So we want to build our own engines. That's a goal. My room is it's kind of for me. So
see, that's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting.
When I got a problem, we can fix it as long as we get the parts. We can fix it, but that's definitely a benefit right now that I have when I got an issue, because I just stop everything, and this is what I'm working on today.
Right. Because I got a couple tools that, that are, it's just mine. It's just for me. Certain things for, if other people knew of certain things that I had, certain tools, they'd be asking me a lot for it. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. Nope. Yes, Corky. And you're right, Corky, on what you said earlier about Mitchell's shirt. You're right.
It needed to have white stripes, and then I could be Where's Waldo.
It don't matter. It don't matter. He called it, and I said it earlier before y'all got on here.
It does kind of match my Redline oil hat, though.
It does. It does. You're coordinating. Now, you just mentioned something. You mentioned Pro Mod. Okay, so are you referring to like an NHRA Pro Mod? Stepping up to that eventually.
I don't know where we're going yet.
Okay,
I know we're going somewhere. I know we're going somewhere. We're in the process of a couple different things we got on the table right now that we want to do. We're probably going to do more of the drag and drive sick week stuff. We're going to get that, we want to be in the top tier of that. So, we got to be running in the 6s in the quarter to be competitive. So, the Joker with what we run now is never going to be able to do that. So we'll probably run the same car. But,
really?
Yeah. So if you think of Jeff Lutz's 57 Chevy, so you just see the Joker in a Pro Mod. That's probably what we'll start with. But when we decide to go really go for it, that car won't cut it. So we'll have to get something else.
I got you. We'll call it the Riddler.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of go,
No, we know a car called the Riddler.
Yeah.
We can't do the Riddler.
Yeah. Probably just be Joker 2.0 or something.
Okay.
And the penguin's just out of the question.
Yeah.
That don't even sound good.
That one does not fit. You know what I mean?
We'll definitely try to go with the Pontiac. And that's it. And that's just all stuff that if it happens, it happens.
There's so many things that we want to do.
Because in the car world, we want to win all the major shows. So, we want to win the SEMA. We want to win Grand National Roadster Show. And we want to win the Riddler. And,
exactly. That's exactly what I was.
Yeah. The Riddler.
Whenever you said, a Riddler, and I said, there's a famous Riddler out there. And I was thinking of exactly what you were talking about.
So that one takes, you're talking $5 million to win that show.
Really?
If you ain't got close to $5 million in that car, you ain't winning. So you got to get a customer that's going to be willing to give you that money to begin with, and then build a car for the next 4 years to win that show, because that's what it will take. Now I think I could do it for less than that, but I just know the guys that do it right now. That's what they're investing.
Wow, that is amazing. Now, also okay. So let's see. You got a repair shop, you got a paint shop, you got a speed shop. Okay, you used to have a trucking company, which we don't even currently. You got a machine shop. I think I already said that. You see, I'm already losing track of fingers here. Okay, and then you used to have what's that?
We have a fabrication area also.
Yeah. So we pretty much do everything but an interior in-house. We pretty much do everything that a car that you want done to a car.
And then you used to have a vintage clothing line also.
Yeah, well, we still got a store. We still
have a store. So we do have an apparel store with all the Greg Speed Shop apparel and stuff like that. And then I have two little corners of my my go-go stuff and little stuff for the women. So
that's cool. And that's available. That's available to anybody to walk in or go online for that.
Yep. And online we only have the Greg Speed Shop apparel. So the women's apparel stuff there, the mini dresses and stuff that are in there is for the women who come in. Who come in. It's for them. So
it gives them something to look at.
Yeah.
Their husband or boyfriend are looking at the other stuff and getting prices on getting their car fixed or getting a
Give
new
us
motor.
something to do the men to stay a little longer.
I,
Spend more
when
money.
I'm telling you right now, when people come in that facility, they're blown away every time, and man or woman.
And then
It
then
doesn't
you get
matter.
to go up to all the different scenes that I have set up in there too, and it just takes them right down memory lane. So
Gee whiz.
yeah,
I tell you, your website does not give justice.
no, it does not.
To what you're describing, and anybody, go to gregspeedshop.com and you can really you really get an idea. I mean, the professionalism on what they do and what they build, but also how things presented. I mean, just like you said, I didn't realize that you had different scenes or studios set up. I didn't really know how you did a lot of the photo shoots that I saw. The way things were presented, top notch quality for sure. And so, yeah. And like I said, on the apparel, because as soon as I told my wife that it did vintage apparel, I mean, she was immediately all over the computer looking for it, because she loves rockabilly. She loves that kind of.
We lived that. I mean, that rockabilly. We did that.
time.
We did that a long time.
Yeah.
Rockabilly stuff, and
Yeah.
People used to pick on me all the
Yeah.
time because I drove a 53 Buick. That was my driver, 53 Buick, and I would be dressed to the max every day.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Was it a chop? Was it a sled?
No, it was not chopped, but
It
she had a
wasn't
visor.
chopped, but I tipped my visor to go right
Ah.
against the windshield, so it gave it that effect when you were coming down the road.
Yep.
Yep.
I got you.
We see the car yet to
Oh,
this day.
it pulls at my heartstrings. I should have never sold it.
Everybody says that. There's at least one car in your life. I just want to hear somebody say that's the best thing I ever did is getting rid of it.
It is a good thing because it went to some good people, and she's still around, and I still see it at car shows. And sometimes they'll leave little notes on the windshield that say Buick hugs to Leah. So I mean, it's good.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that
my
car,
God.
I loved that car.
Well, I'll tell you, also something I got to compliment you, Mitchell and I have both looked at, is your YouTube channel and your social media presence on Instagram, TikTok. But your YouTube channel is just blowing up. When I say it's not something new, but when I say that, just you're putting out media and content every day.
A lot of great information.
Yeah, I didn't listen 5 years ago. I was told by Joe Coddington, get on YouTube. I'm like, no, I'm gonna.
That happened on the front porch,
Yeah.
arguing back and forth.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I got this. We're in meetings with a TV show, so I'm like, no, I want to do the TV stuff. I don't want to do YouTube. She's like, I'm telling you, get on YouTube. So I didn't listen. Then last year or 2 years ago, I started YouTube. So and I got on Facebook, I got over 100-some thousand followers. I'm about 100,000 on everything. A little more on Facebook than anybody else, but I started YouTube, and it's like, man, this thing sucks. Just to get people to follow me or subscribe to me, it just sucks, But finally, I just keep posting, and I post probably too much. It's just what I do. It worked for me, so I just keep doing it. A lot of people that even follow me on Facebook, we did all the car stuff in the beginning. Now it's all Joker racing, and they always, they get sick of it. And I've had people, I've lost 10,000 followers because they don't want to see the Joker anymore. They said that, and she's like, oh, we started another page. I'm like, no, I'm done. I am the Joker. If you don't like it, don't, move on, I guess.
I tell you, y'all could have a great charity drive with you and Leslie, 2 out of 3, clocks off. I mean, no qualifying or whatever like that, but for charity, and put a camera in both y'all, and you know what I mean, and really do it on your social. But I mean, others too. But since y'all two are buddies and racing each other all the time, that'd be good. I think that'd be a good charity builder.
Everybody in the Southeast Gassers in A-Gas, anybody can win that we're racing with. It just, I'm kind of the outsider from being from Wisconsin. Everybody's from down there. And Leslie's a top dog, so that's who I got to be after.
Well, even the fellow with the Corvette, the A-Gas Corvette, Quick Time Performance.
Yeah, Barry.
Go Barry.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I met him and got talking to him, and he said, I think he says he's from South Carolina, or he's at South Carolina, and he goes, "Can't you tell from my accent?" And I just kind of looked, and I looked at him, and I'm like going, "Okay, I don't know if this guy's being straight with me or not," but I'm like going, "No, I can't tell." He's a
character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's funny. And that car is very fast. Mitch Stott run that car.
I thought that was Mitch's old car.
Yeah, that is.
He built it.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Mitch built it. Mitch drove it. I forget who built the car.
Mitch was just his driver.
Yeah, but Mitch had that car. That car, if he was close to getting that thing together to really beat everybody.
Well, if it came out of the Stott shop, it's going to be quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I saw the Anglia he used to race.
Yeah.
That somebody else has now.
John races that now.
Yeah. I don't know. I took pictures of the shifter, and I'm like, I don't even know how you get in this thing with the shifter because it's literally underneath your right leg, and it's bent at about a 45-degree out. And I'm like going, how in the world? I know how. I mean,
I'll tell you what, when Queen raced that car, I mean, I've raced against them and I've watched them, and man, scary stuff there, boy.
Yes, yes.
He can drive a race car.
Even when his boy was driving his car, and I mean, put white trash around a couple circles a couple times.
That's Mitch's son, yeah.
Donovan. Oh, Mitch's. I'm sorry. Yep. I'm sorry. And but still, it was impressive to watch because it was going to be this side or this side, but he was going to do his best to make a pass. It was always entertaining. Yep. So, what you guys and gals do as far as racing is very, very impressive because your car weighs what
2743.
2743 with a 477 big block, 2 4-barrels, a 4-speed on a 10-inch tire with no rev limiter.
Right.
No rev limiter, no clutchless.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's well, you got to use the clutch. You only got to use the clutch when you leave. It is clutchless now because they can't police it. Now, before I showed up there for 5 years, I used the clutch because, that's the rules. Then I show up there and then they change the rules. And it's tough to drive without the clutch. Now I'm used to it and it's faster.
Right,
so
right.
You do it, but in the beginning.
But you don't have no liberty sticking in there. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, no,
you don't have anything like that. So
pattern 4-speed. G4 South is the man. Roby's he's the best training man I know. And we
after this, I got to get his contact because I've been trying to reach out to G-Force to see about them coming on, coming on.
Yeah,
and just haven't got a hold of the right person yet. So,
yeah. And one of the things I like y'all to do, y'all do a lot of in-car videos of y'all driving, and it just shows everyone that you just don't get in there and let go of the clutch and go down the track. I mean, there's a lot of camera steering. I mean, y'all are really sawing back and forth on the steering wheel as y'all are going down. It's not really easy to drive one of those cars.
I mean, you got professional race cars drivers driving in the Southeast Gassers, and they'll tell you straight up that these cars are the hardest cars in the world to drive. When you build cars that ain't supposed to go fast. You got ladder bars, 10.5-inch wide tires, 4-speed. No shift light, no computers, straight axle. Wheels got to be off the ground 15 inches when you launch. Just stuff that you're not supposed to make it go fast. And
you guys are flying.
We're going to be in the. They hate when you talk like this, but I don't know how long before we're in the forest, but I think it's soon.
Oh man, you called it. We weren't going to mention times, but. No, that's the goal. Everybody wants to go quicker.
Yeah. You're talking about the drivability of these cars, and I know there's a whole lot of differences between them and the Pro Mods, but you're literally, having to drive those cars by the seat of your pants by filling it
Yep.
and trying to catch the car as you go down the track. And that's pretty much what you have to do with a pro mod that races any of the pro mod classes.
Yep. The car is just, you know, when you got computers running and can retard the timing and all this stuff, you know, with our cars, you can't. I mean, you push the gas just a little bit, the car's one way to, you know, from this side to this side. I mean, it's jerking all over the place. You know, 3 times it'll go dead straight, and the 4th time it'll say, "Okay, get ready." You know, I mean, that's crazy. But you really got to drive these cars. Like I said, there's some professional race car drivers that race with us. Them guys have won lots of Wallies and have won championships. You know, Mitch was the first guy in a door car ever to go 5 seconds in the world. Think about that.
Yep.
You know, so these guys, these type of guys are driving these cars. And someday we're going to be the baddest. And I'm just, you know, and that's a cool feeling.
Your hard work that y'all are putting in, it shows. You can go, yeah, that's true. That's true. And you're right. No, and to answer that question, I know the Joker is currently not Pontiac powered.
And the reason it is the head rule, that the old style heads would not produce enough power. I called Butler and Kaufman, and they can't make the horsepower that we need with the head rule. Now, maybe someday we might be able to get something happening there.
Well, you can see in there on your
with a Pontiac engine. If I could have a Pontiac engine in it and be competitive now, I'd have to be competitive. That's all I'd have in it, because the true Pontiac people, they want to cut me all the time. So
it's like we interviewed Tommy Yeoman, who has a GTO, Pontiac GTO with a Pontiac engine, runs limited drag radial in the 8th mile stuff, heads up stuff down here. And he has a true Pontiac in it. And he went through the same deal that you just mentioned, going through Kaufman, going through Butler and all that to develop a head. Now, true, their head doesn't look anything like what Southeast Gassers.
Right. That's why they
still Pontiac. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'll tell you, and I encourage everybody to look at Southeast Gas Association, to look at the rules. They have very strict rules, but they have a good selection too.
The engine rules and all the stuff that Queen ended up getting when he started Southeast Gassers. We welcome anybody that wants to race, and I don't care if it's John Forrest or Kai Kelly. You know, bring it. You know, they ain't
exactly.
Not going to win.
Exactly. And then, but you got to, like you say, jump in with both feet. And I tell you, but here's a question for you. If there is one rule that could be changed, or that you would have any say-so to be changed in A gas, B, C, whatever, for Southeast Gassers, what would it be? Any idea?
I love the rules. The rules, to me, the rules
separates you.
It's you know, it's the 60s, you know, pre-67. Right. I like the rules. I like the way the cars look. I like that we can't have all the computer stuff on it. You know, yes, to benefit me, I would like to have some things, but I would never want to change the rules. But right. I consider our gassers, we're a pro mod of gassers.
Yes,
that's kind of what I
think that's a fair statement.
Just the, you know, the chassis that we run, the all the extra stuff that we do to the cars. Maybe we don't have the computer stuff on it, but these cars are fast. I mean they're definitely fast.
Yes,
but yes. You know, it's just cool that the longer we're there, the faster the world record is getting.
Everybody's chasing it now.
We when we showed up, we already crushed that record. You know, now it's been knocked down. You know, and Leslie has it right now. So, you know, we're within 500ths of it, but it's just we need to get it done. I want to get it. He can take it back the next race. I just need that trophy to tell my grandkids that we went out and raced the best in the world and to get that trophy.
Yeah, you earn it. Obviously, that's what the deal is. Y'all are working for it and everybody. And the thing I like about it, Mitchell agrees too, is that when the records are reset, they're not blown away by like a 10th, 1500s. It's like a half a hundredth, 2000s,
It's
100 or less.
really tight.
I think since last year, I think the record in A-gas has only dropped. I think what is it?
Only a couple.
A little over about 200s.
Yeah,
if that.
Not much.
Yeah, in 2 years, and that's everybody gunning for it.
Yeah.
And so it's impressive for sure. Now, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, and what is your YouTube channel again?
And just Greg Speed Shop on every platform: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just Greg Speed Shop, and you can find me. Shop is just gregspeedshop.com. The email, website.
Yeah. And then on PowerTube TV, you can do watch PowerTube
Yeah.
TV online. And then it's Built for Speed, our show is called.
And they
tell us more about that. Tell us more about that.
So PowerTube they approached us and asked if they watched some of our YouTube stuff and want to know if we wanted to get on the program, and in which we did. And they just got a different audience. So the people that watch us, they follow us or whatever, but they're going to a different audience. And we thought it was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And they just did a deal with DirecTV. So they're going to have a regular channel, will be PowerTube channel on DirecTV, and Dish and Sling, I think it was called. And it's just going to get us out there more. We're going to do more car stuff, more videos of engine building stuff. There's a lot of things they want me to do, but
apparently more stuff at home too.
Yeah. They want me to do a little more videoing where if we're sitting down eating, or just to be normal.
A little bit of real TV.
Yeah. It is real stuff. You just get, at the end of the day, you're tired. You get a lot of things going on. But I think in the next couple of years, it's really going to be good for us. We're one of the biggest custom car shops in the world, and we're in Waupaca, Wisconsin. And there's a lot of people that don't know who we are because we're not in California. So I think someday it's already big, but it will be really big.
Now,
Wow.
I know y'all are rained out, and the race has been totally postponed for Alabama. So y'all's next race on the schedule will be in Mooresville. Is that correct?
Nope, it's going to be Knoxville. They changed it.
Not okay. So it's been changed since the
So
original schedule came out. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me double check here. Just
Knoxville,
to make sure.
Tennessee should be our next race. And Knoxville.
That is one track. I've never been to. I've always wanted to go.
God, I love that racetrack.
That racetrack don't like us a lot.
That racetrack don't like us, but we love that racetrack. It beats us up every time. I mean, I think I wrecked, 3-4 clutches there, and had shifter problems there.
Yep.
But yeah, we definitely like the track.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good thing is you're in the neck of the woods. I mean, Rams, South Carolina, G-Force, you go north. But yeah, it's you definitely need to have a Greg Speed Shop East just for the race team.
Yeah. I just need a place to keep my rig, and we'll just fly in because man, we travel a lot.
Well, we got a place here in North Florida. I got plenty of room. You can park it. Just so you know. Just so you know. It's not covered, but it's there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't have a carport for that. Just saying. And that's something else I really, Mitchell and I both, we really like is how your rig is displayed.
Yeah.
How it has a name on it, and you and Miss Lee on there. And I'm like going, all you need is the whole team with their name on it.
Yeah. Well, we just bought a new trailer, so we're going to end up eventually getting that wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll have to include the team. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we years ago, when we owned the trucking company, we got ready to sell it, we ended up hiring some consultant team in, and they told me everything you do, you have your face on it. They said no matter what.
We fought them for a little while with
Yeah.
that because we're not those kind of people.
So when you come into my facility, there's a life poster of me
life size cutout.
of me and Leah.
We're all over.
We're all. I mean, no matter where we
You
are,
look, and we're peeking out somewhere.
and basically how they sold it to us. It is, and this is when this is going quite a few years back. But Gas Monkey Garage just started at that time, and they said, "Hey, Greg, if you seen Richard Rollins in Walmart, what would you do?" And I just said, "I'd say, hey, Richard, how you doing?" They're like, "Why would you do that?" I said, "I watch him on TV." They said, "No, you feel like you know him." They said, "If people know who you are, you're approachable. When you're approachable, there's business." And right when he said that, I'm like, "All right, we'll put it in here." Then we put that lifestyle picture of me and Leah in there. You know, all the bull crap I had to hear from my friends and family are just nonstop. You know, but
I can only imagine.
Even at the racetrack, even to this day at the racetrack, I'll come pulling in. Oh, who does he think he is? Blah blah blah. And I was like, dude, you have no idea who I am. But guess what? You do know.
You will.
You do now. You know, they know. Oh, you're the guy with the, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's us.
You just gave me a great idea. You know, we need to get some cardboard cutouts of me and Robert, and we'll just stick them out there in front of the gate as people come into the track.
Yeah, with
a swinging arm. Yeah. I'm sorry, where I work, no face, no case. Okay, it's like going. So I'm like going, no. I work on enough job sites, It's like going, no. Just
it definitely worked for our business for sure. We had a billboard. We have a billboard on our property that is owned by Jones Signs. They rent that spot from us yearly, but we actually were on there for about 5 years.
Billboard.
We would change it up. I think we changed it up twice. I think, and just to get people to know who we were, stop in there. And I'm telling you, it works. And now when we drive down the road, people come up, honking the horn, follow us on YouTube or Facebook. We pull in to get fuel. They're talking to us. Don't matter where we go. We showed up in Gulfport, Mississippi, I think last year, or 2 years ago. We had within 10 minutes, there's 3 different people
wanting to just know what was in that trailer.
No, they knew who we were. They followed us.
Yeah, but there was a couple that wanted to just know what was in there.
Yeah, they wanted to know. Anytime we pull in a truck stop, they always want to see what's going on in there. Usually when we're in there, we got a problem. The car slides, or strap breaks, or cars hanging off, or the fun stuff.
And then they see me out there trying to get it all on film, so they want, they're always wondering what the heck is going on.
You open a door, sucker's hanging like this. You slam the door right back. Yeah, we'll get back to you later. What I mean?
That car's been everywhere in there. We've always seemed to make it somehow, some way. Our rigs has never broke down ever. We've been very good. Until Georgia, we had a problem with it, and we couldn't believe it because the thing never has a problem. But it was something so dumb that was wrong with it. But we ended up getting it fixed.
Yeah, we were stranded on the side of that interstate for 8 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they wanted how much was it again? $1,500 for 3 miles to tow me, something like that. Yeah. I'm like, well, and the only reason I actually finally did call them, and they said, well, it'll be about 3 hours or 4 hours before they get there. And then I got the truck to run again. I'm like, see ya. We're out of here.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. And I told the guys, because they were going in limp mode, I told the guys, I'm like, it's going to be a long ride to South Georgia. But, because we're in Atlanta, I said, it's going to be a long ride. Because we only could do like 50 miles an hour. I says, but we're going racing.
Gee, I tell you, because when we were there and Leslie got parked, y'all two were like just comparing notes. And Leslie's like going, man, my Jake brake messed up coming down the hill and this and that. And he was like going, that was a little interesting. You know what I mean? He goes, brakes might be a little hot. And, you know, and you're like going, oh, I got something for you. And, you know, and y'all went walking off. I'm like going,
well,
okay,
that's actually what was wrong with ours, the exhaust brake. And that's what was wrong. It seized up. So it stayed open. So it would choke the motor off. So it went wrong.
Really?
So, yeah. So Leslie, the guy that he bought his rig from, he actually called me and told me that you can't find these parts anywhere in the country. So what we did was we wired it open, smashed it open. We smashed it, and then we hold a little wire on it and got all the way home. And I'm like, well, I'll be able to find one. No, can't find one. Nowhere in the country can you get one. So we call guys that used to have them, and they're like, nope, they obsolete number. Freightliner don't use it anymore. And then about an hour later, they called back and said, hey, I talked to one of my techs. There's a different part number that will work. And I'm like, all right, what is it? So he sent it to me, and I got her fixed. Otherwise, you could. So I was super happy that a guy called up. You know, they called us back because I was going to make one. I was just going to machine one and make it, but you know, a lot of time it would have took. But I was happy to pay $159
instead of 50.
You're like, can I take two?
Yeah. Actually, so I took my other one off, and I'm going to fix it. I'll have a couple for sale now.
That'll be online for sale.
100%. They might be $259, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Oh, I'm glad y'all made it down there and back, and had a great time. We couldn't stay as long as I hoped, but I got lists of people that are in or met and got talking to, and I tell you, everybody needs to go to a Southeast Gasser race.
100%.
They need to go because, like you said, if you're competing the first time, you're competing. The second time, you're family, pretty much.
Yep.
That's how we feel like when we do our racing. Mitchell and I, with everybody we race with, we feel the exact same way. We're all competitive, but people help each other out all the time. So, and I'm just impressed. I mean, like you said, you've only 5 years you've been doing the social media thing, and got over 100,000 on Facebook, got close to that, if not above that on YouTube. And so you handle all the social media?
He does, yeah.
I edit everything. I do all the posts. Like, I get up really early in the morning. I get up like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning every day, and I do all my social media work. And then when I go to work, and I go to bed at 9 o'clock though. So
he naps. You're in his nap time right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The older I get, I got to take my naps.
Well, that just gives me and Robert hope because we've only been doing this a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. But
I started a little bit before Robert and had Robert come on.
Yeah.
And we're trucking away slowly, but it's getting there little by little.
Yeah, the more you do, the better you'll get at it. You just got to figure them goofy things, like for me, because of the racing side of, if I put on something that's my car's all up out of shape and blah blah blah, and that gets more views than anything, because everybody's trying to tell me how to drive my car, and the rear end's out of square, the tire's low on one side, stuff like that. So and I just laugh. I mean, I comment once in a while because I can't handle it, because they always say, "Oh, you can't, you need a backup girl or a staging girl.
How hard is it to stage
you don't know how to stage?" It's just like, oh my God, guy. Then I'll come back and say, yeah, it takes a rocket. It takes a rocket.
That's what it is.
It takes a rocket scientist to be able to stage a car. I know that. I'm sorry, I mean, it just dumb stuff like that.
I'll hear him yelling at
They just don't understand it.
No.
They just don't understand it. It's part of the entertainment package.
100%.
Y'all are drag racing. Y'all are competitive. Y'all want to win,
Yep.
but you're also putting on a great show.
Correct.
For everyone.
I mean, in the beginning, I told my wife, I said, she's like, what am I supposed to do there? I said, just look pretty. That's all. Don't even worry about you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not even
watching you. I'm not listening to you, whatever.
Hey, that's a lie. That's a lie.
You 100%.
That's your wife.
No, right now, I can't, if she ain't out there in front of me, boy, I cannot stand it.
It's so funny watching the videos from when I first started doing it to now. When I first started doing it, I'm like freaking 10 feet away from the car. I had no idea what the heck I was doing out there.
No.
Oh,
Now she's
you're like in half track saying like this.
Yeah.
Now you almost got it.
Watch. Watch. All she does to me now is like this. That means slow down.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm backing up. Just relax a little bit. She gets all
always
excited.
in such a hurry. Slow down.
And you're like, I can't run that fast wearing this stuff. So just
it's ripping her heels off.
Yeah, no, it's because the track gets so sticky out there. Like the last 2 races, I ripped heels off. And if you watch,
I never thought about that.
Yeah, and if you watch in one video, I think that he posted, you're watching me back the car up. And I'm walking this way and this way in front of the car. Like I'm moving back and forth because I can't find a non-sticky spot. It's tearing my heels right up. So it's hard.
You see the ladies have, it's not so easy when you're out there doing what you're doing.
Well, Greg, when you see the heels come off, you know you got some real good grip out there.
Yeah. When we'll go out there and we'll look at the track before we race, and I feel it. It feels pretty good. She's like, oh no, it feels like crap. And I started listening to her because she knows she's out on that racetrack. I'm not. So right. I kind of like what I always say. What do you think of it? It feels all right. I was like all right fast or all right slow. So I kind of could tell, from her reaction how much grip there is. Last weekend, and I'm not even lying to you guys when I tell you this, we you could go out there with your flip flops.
Oh, when we were testing, I could
absolutely
flip flops.
Nothing out on that racetrack. So we tried some stuff. I could get that car to stand straight up and
really
out there. Yeah. So we were like, oh my God, we just figured something out. And we were like, kind of, now we want a shitty racetrack right now.
Yeah.
So when everybody's struggling, we're down the track.
It's okay. You're gonna have that card in the back pocket. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like going, all right, I do this. Yeah. I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean?
We couldn't even believe it. We couldn't. I mean, they told them after I launched, they said, we didn't even prep the track yet.
Yeah, they're like, come back in a little while. We'll prep the track for you.
And you're like, I'm good. It's like why?
20 inches in the air and she was gone. It's crazy.
It works, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you clearly got it working. So it's like going, man, I think I tell you what, I think it's really, really cool what y'all do. And I love how y'all encourage each other. We really like seeing that. It's like the last gentleman we just interviewed, Glenn Treadwell. He's a comp eliminator racer. You're right. Outside the box, you're right. And but the last racer we interviewed, he said the same thing about his wife. His wife is super encouraging to him, and and pushed him harder than he was pushed. He's like, she don't want to come from outside the camera, but she's more competitive than him. And I'm like going, okay. So what I'm saying is I think it's really great to see y'all support each other and encourage each other. And like I said, the Joker is known worldwide. So it was known before this, but it's known worldwide. I just had to say,
Yeah, it's well for us really. I mean, we ship T-shirts to Germany, to the Sweden, UK, Sweden all the time, and they do know the car, and it's I threw it in the garbage, and I picked it back up and got it. So I'm super happy that that happened for me.
Yeah.
That, you said before about the car you'll never sell. This is it. This one here I'll never sell. I hope my kids don't sell it either, but if they do, they do.
Right.
We'll see. But I know, I'll never sell it. I might have to live in it, but I'll never sell it.
Well, yeah. Transition in life. Just call it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all right. You put another chassis under it, front bumper on it.
Yeah.
Pack the kids in it. Go to the movies. Do whatever you want. You can do whatever.
Exactly.
But I tell you, we encourage everybody to go to Greg's Speed Shop online. We encourage you to buy the apparel because they have a huge selection of everything from shirts to hoodies to lanyards and everything to support the Joker. And also, y'all could reach out to them on marketing too, because they have a great opportunity for you with PowerTube TV, with their YouTube channel, Facebook. And everything that they're doing in marketing. Not only that, with their speed shop and repair shop and paint shop and fabrication shop. And okay, I'm stopping there. I'm running out of breath.
And I actually tagged them that we were being on tonight, and I actually tagged them the live stream as well. So if that's something they wanted to watch, take notes, use it, whatever, they're more than welcome to use it. To promote the Southeast Gassers Association and what they're going to do with that channel as far as getting it on Netflix and so on and so forth. But I tell you what, I want to thank both of y'all for coming on tonight and talking with us. The racing that y'all do there in Southeast Gasser Association is just amazing. Not just the A-gas, but all the way down to
all the classes are so competitive, and they're getting better and better and better.
SEGA is like my favorite class to watch.
I know, right?
It's just,
I love it.
There's, they little cubic inch motors, and they're flying. I mean, they beat half the people that go to the racetrack, and their little seat with 292 cubic inch or 283 cubic inch. Unbelievable.
It's definitely amazing what they're getting out of those engines for sure.
I see your little furry friend there. Yeah, mine are around my feet right now. So
that's where she's been dying to get on my lap.
Right. I think Hemi's trying to get in there with you too, right?
He actually has been in here, and he's been eating and scratching on a scratch pad and everything else. So yeah, we took him in. He was probably only, probably a couple of weeks old, and actually found him. He was in the engine bay of my wife's truck.
Oh my gosh!
On the belts and the pulleys, and so I popped him, brought him inside. And next thing I know, she went to the store and bought a litter box and cat food and this and that. And I said, "Well, I guess we got a cat now."
Yeah.
And he's just like part of the family.
Yeah. Except he doesn't like me, but it's okay.
He doesn't like anybody but us, unfortunately. Anybody that comes through the door, he scrams, man. He's out of here.
It's all right. I'm an acquired taste anyway, so just ask my wife, so it's okay. But like Mitchell was saying, we want to thank y'all very much for taking the time out of your crazy busy schedule to come on here and talk to us tonight on the Spot Motorsports Media. And we want to say thank you. We want to wish y'all all the best. And we feel very confident that you're going to get the record. You're going to have the record this year.
100%. We're getting it. We're getting it.
Determination, hard work, and that equals results.
Yes.
And you're getting there. So, hopefully Mitchell and I can come to another race this year. I don't know exactly where. I got to look at our schedule because we're planning on going to Kentucky and Indiana and Tennessee and for different events and stuff like that. So we'll try to work in to come to another Southeast Gasser one.
And we actually been trying really hard to make sure that we get the winners of all the classes up with the Southeast Gasser Association on our page as well. And we always put the Southeast Gasser Association logo up underneath it. So people can see, who who is actually winning those races in each one of those classes to just try to draw more people in. You know, to me, drag racing, it doesn't matter if it's professional, sportsman categories, or organizations like y'all race in. They're all very important, and they benefit everyone who loves motorsports.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed, 100%.
Well, we appreciate you guys having us on, and anytime you want us on, you just give me a call. You got my number.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely, we'll do. And anything we could do for you guys too on promoting or any sales y'all got or anything y'all wish, be more than happy to help.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Well, want to say once again, thank you very much, and we hope y'all have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
We'll see you guys later.
Take care, Greg. Take care, Miss Leah. Bye now.
Bye.
See you.
Bye. I tell you what a wonderful people there, and just showing their love of the Southeast Gasser Association. And I mean, his love completely for, the automotive industry. I mean, that's where his love was at. He sold his trucking company, opened up a shop, and it just continued to grow, in a very rapidly over a short period of time. And all the things that they do there, it's just amazing.
It's impressive. It's very, very impressive what they do. And like I said, I encourage everybody to go to speedshop.com, and you can see examples of their work, of their street rods that they do, the hot rod maintenance, the factory maintenance, the fabrication and stuff like that. It's impressive. It is very, very well done.
And subscribe to their YouTube channel and follow along, same as we always ask people to continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel as it is growing. Every time we look at it, it's going up in numbers. But we want the same thing for Greg as well. So you can actually, if you're very unfamiliar what the Southeast Gasser Association is all about and those classes and stuff, it'll be explained in those videos on YouTube.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can see the machine work that they do and different things behind the scene. They put a lot of effort, a lot of time, and it shows. It's very top-notch, first-class work, and displays. And like I said, they put on a great show and put a great product forward. So we encourage everybody to go support them. I want to tell you once again, thank you everybody for supporting us on the Spot Motorsports Media. Like Mitchell said, he's putting in a lot of hard work, putting in a lot of articles and things, and it's continuing to grow. And wanted to tell you, thank you everybody that has responded so far to the YouTube channel, on our On the Spot YouTube channel. It's continuing to grow. So we wanted to say thank you and continue, because we have goals for that one also, for that channel, but also the Instagram page is gradually going. Spotify is slowly, but it's still growing. So we have different platforms out there for you to enjoy things. And just wanted to say, thank y'all very much for everything y'all do and backing Mitchell and I up. And Mitchell and I, we had some, was it last weekend? Yeah, last weekend, we're tired, but we had a lot of pretty good racing. Saturday was crazy, but we had some good racing.
You did. I didn't.
We all had some weird stuff happen. It was a weird day, especially over with all my buddies and all that stuff like that. We had problems with just about everybody's car had something that happened. Yeah. But
I'm hoping I can go out to Gainesville tomorrow night. Hopefully the weather holds off and I can get I at least want 3 to 4 passes in to just make sure everything's fixed, the car's back on, running consistent like it should be. So we'll have to wait and see what the weather's going to be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, compliment the track for their hard work on putting on the race. But like I said, it was just it's just one of them weird things. Things breaking, which typically don't break. People's starters, water pumps, alternators, cars wouldn't start. One of them I saw had the water neck split. Never seen a water neck split. Just pop a hole straight in the back, fill the intake manifold full of water, and never seen that happen.
Looking air after being replaced, but
yeah, we won't talk about that one. But
fixed now.
fuel pumps going out, missing washers on lug nuts, losing them, and just things happen. That's part of it.
Yeah.
And going 3 rounds and can't get better than a 40 light. Don't tell me. I don't know how that happened. Went out round 5 in 2 classes, and except for 1 run, I wasn't better than a 40. So,
Well, I had better lights, but I just couldn't get nowhere.
just one of them things, man. One of them things.
Oh yeah, but just some breaking news that we broke earlier. The IHRA, they released a 5-event schedule this year. It's posted up on the page and tell you the classes that they are anticipating on running on those five events. So we're glad to finally hear something back from the IHRA, how they're moving forward. And so maybe this is the news that everyone was actually looking forward to. I know there was a lot of hesitation out there, a lot of comments of, people wanting to know what's going on. And I know Robert, he's been busy trying to reach out to someone to come on and talk with us as well. And just kind of go over the last couple of months, what has been happening, with the track being all these tracks being bought up. And what their plans are. There was a lot of uncertainty out there, and we want to shed some light on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're reaching out, trying to reach out to IHRA. So hopefully somebody will has an opportunity to respond to possibly come on the show. And like I said, to help settle everybody. Because a whole lot has changed in IHRA since the end of last year, beginning of this year, as we all know. But like anything, we all want associations and races and events to succeed.
We want them to prosper. Yeah, definitely.
Correct. We want them to prosper, and we understand that everything's going to have a learning curve and all that stuff like that, and that's part of it. But so we want the best. We truly do, and. Like I said, so hopefully we will get a representative of IHRA to come on here and talk to us a little bit, share with us about what's going on. But yeah, you're right. They just listed it today. And how many classes? Was it like 10 classes? It was a lot of classes.
Yeah, it's quite a few. I don't want to mention any of them and be incorrect, but yeah, I'm hoping that it does really, really well. And I like to see, them bring back some of the good old days of the IHRA. But there was also some sad news that broke this week for some of the racers, and that's in the PDRA, the Redline oil PDRA, that due to the lack of participation, they have cut out the extreme motorcycle class. So that was effective immediately. So they will not have that class. I don't know, what the future may hold, but I hope all those riders are able to find another sanctioned body to go to and continue racing throughout 2025.
I agree. It was a shame how that happened, but everybody I'm sure understands, sometimes you got to make a decision like that. But
and I guarantee you, it wasn't done likely. I mean, I guarantee you it was a hard thought about thing for them to do that, because that class has been around quite a while in PDRA, and they don't run the full schedule like the other classes. So yeah, it was a sad moment for a lot of riders that participate.
Yeah, it was, but it's understood. It's understood. Everybody understands why. Sometimes you got to make a tough decision, and that was definitely one of them. But we just hope all the riders that was planning on running in that they land on their feet in an association, in a race that they can compete at, because it is exciting. It is exciting for sure. So we look forward to that, to see what happens there. But I tell you, we also want to thank Scorpion Racing Products for partnering with On the Spot this year. I tell you, if you're needing rocker arms or looking for updating your engine, your ride, you need to look towards Scorpion, because they handle a wide arrangement of stuff, from stud mounts to shaft designed and used rocker arms in a whole arrangement. Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, the late model Hemi.
Well, they're working on late model Hemi.
Oh, that's what it is. I'm sorry. They're working on a late model Hemi stuff, but also they're working with Dead Zero Performance.
Yes, that is correct.
They have teamed up with them, and Dead Zero Performance goes to Gainesville Raceway and a lot of other tracks here in the Southeast, and they carry Scorpion products on the trailer. Okay, plus I'm sure they're testing. I think they have a different cylinder head that they're developing a valve train for. There was some kind of special cylinder head they were working on for them. So you need to go to Dead Zero Performance also for your high performance needs. And they're located not too far here from Jacksonville, Florida. But they go to all the big events. So look them up. Tell them we sent you, by the way.
And don't forget about Redline oil. I'll tell you what, my car just hit 213,000 this week. And it's still going strong, and I don't think it'd be possible for it to do that without Redline oil being poured in it when I do my maintenance. And I tell you what, I'm fixing to get ready tonight. As soon as this show's over, I'm fixing to order me some more oil for the car. And don't forget, they also have water wetter that actually helps make the bubbles smaller in your radiator and for your cooling system to be able to cool down a whole lot quicker. So they have that as well, and gear oil and just all types of stuff. Just go visit them at Redline Synthetic Oils.
Absolutely. Redline is a great product. Works with a lot of racers, and I run it in my car, obviously, and Mitchell runs it in his, and we can both vouch for it. They make a great product, and so we encourage everybody to go and support them. I'm now using their brake fluid too. I don't know if you tried it yet, Mitchell, but I'm using their brake fluid in our cars and trucks, and I can honestly tell the difference because as much as we're on the road. So definitely a good product, and we appreciate them. And like I said, anybody that wants to get involved with us, just reach out to Mitchell and I. If you got any suggestions or people that you would like us to reach out to and talk to, just let us know. And you can get a hold of Mitchell or myself and talk to you, and we'll work on seeing what we can do to help. And we thank everybody for coming on tonight. That's for sure.
And we'll see you next Thursday night. And who's our guest, Robert?
I don't know. I got to go look at the calendar. I got it in the other room.
Well, we'll definitely get it posted for y'all.
Yeah, I got it in the other room. I can't remember. It's tomorrow.
I put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I see what you did there. I don't know if we have Richard Ferry next week or the week following. Ferry Performance. I don't know. We're going to find out.
We'll get it posted for you on our page. But again, thank you for watching On the Spot Motorsports Media, and we'll catch you next Thursday. Until then, everyone, please take care.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Reliability to drive thousands of miles. Confidence for those who fly high. Redline oil products give you the power to crush the competition. And a track record of being the best. Redline oil products. You push it to the limit. We'll protect it.
Ready to take your engine to the next level? Scorpion Racing Products delivers precision-engineered, high-performance rocker arms that dominate the track. 100% CNC machined in the USA with aerospace-grade aluminum for unmatched strength and durability. Our rocker arms handle extreme conditions with multiple ratios available to fit your needs. Backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. When performance matters, choose Scorpion Racing products. Proven, reliable, unstoppable.